it's Molly. I am going to be testing out primary elements, ColourArte, and I'm going to be using Floetrol, GAC 800, the Polypour that it comes with, and then Liquitex pouring medium. So I'll show you the process, I'll show you them wet, and then I'll wait and show you them dry before I release the video. So I am thinking that the Polypour is going to be the best one. You guys let me know at the end of the video. I'll label them 1, 2, 3, or 4. You guys can let me know which one you like. Also, just a reminder, if you guys can check your notifications and make sure that if you want the bell on, that you have the bell on and set to the right setting. And I would do that for all of your your favorite artist. All right, so I'll explain everything as I get down and on the canvas, and I'll see you in a second. All right, you guys, so tonight's experiment is going to be the primary elements Polypour. So let me see here. We've got, can you see that? Mediterranean blue. We've got sunburst, really pretty yellow. Cranberry, which is more purple. And playful peony. Yep, there you go. And then I'm just using Golden's white. So I'm testing Floetrol versus GAC 800 versus the Vivid Polypour, which is the company that makes this. Those two are supposed to go together. And then Liquitex pouring medium. So those are the 4. I have 8 by 8 inch canvases, and I'm just gonna do like a little ring pour on them. Hopefully I have enough paint. The Floetrol mixed up kind of thick. The GAC 800 was rather thin. Now the Floetrol will dry matte. GAC has a glossy finish to it, GAC 800. The Polypour definitely has a glossy finish to it as well, and so does the Liquitex pouring medium. So I'm thinking Floetrol's probably gonna be my least favorite out of these, but I have no idea yet. Technically the Polypour should be the best one. I will say the colors are extremely vivid when the powder is mixed in with the Liquitex pouring medium. It's very vivid as well with the Polypour. GAC 800 came out a little bit creamier, but it will dry transparent, as will the Floetrol. But again, the Floetrol dries matte. So I'm going to go ahead and set you guys up on the camera and get started. Okay, so here is the Floetrol. I tried to layer them all basically the same way. And on the inside of the cup, you can see the colors, I don't know, it's like they didn't disperse very well. The GAC 800 looks even worse. But again, it's a thinner mixture, so those colors are gonna bleed together more, I think. And then that's the Polypour. It looks perfect. And then I thought that the Liquitex pouring medium was going to be perfect, but you can see it looks a little bit like it's bleeding together as well. So there are the 4 of them, and I'm going to do 2 at a time in my screen. So let me get you back on the canvas. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Floetrol. I'm going to pour out of this end. Probably shouldn't be pouring with this hand. I'm right-handed, I'm pouring left-handed right now. Okay, there's my white. Okay, already I screwed up the experiment because the others I'm probably gonna pour with my other hand, but that I didn't do that bad. Okay, so now let me go around to the other side and stretch that out. I'm probably going to do the rest of them from this side over here. It's still very, very pretty. All right. I hope I have enough paint on my canvas to go over those large edges. Take it down that way. I'll get my edges back in a second. Wow, it's still really, really pretty. Let me get this one. Let me slide these down for a second because I don't want to get anything on this one. It is pretty. It looks like the white has started to bleed just a little bit into the other colors. And this is very thick. I could have actually probably added a little bit more Floetrol to this one. My yellow is basically just gone. So that'll be interesting to see if it actually holds up in the other paintings. Wow, it's really pretty though. And I'm actually getting just these tiny little cells. I'm not gonna torch this because I don't like to, oh, well, I guess it was with Polypour, but I don't really like to torch just right over the edge. All right, fix up my edges a little bit here. The edges are a little bit more difficult to cover with the mixture of the, whoa, God, I almost fell over, guys. With the Floetrol and the pigment, it's a little bit more difficult to actually cover the canvas. Okay, but I got it done. A little bit for this edge. Okay, I like it. I'll give you a close-up in a second. I'm gonna move this one out of the way and do my second canvas now. I'll show you what I'm talking about on those edges too. So hopefully I can fix that. All right, my next canvas up. Hope you're still in frame. It's that brown color when you mix everything together. Okay, I'm gonna pour out of this side again. Yeah, this mixture was much thinner, the GAC 800, because when you're working with powder, you're really working with you can make it thinner if you want, but you can't really make it any thicker unless you add a thickening gel, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep everything kind of true to the way that it was. And this one, of course, this part of my table is never level. And I have my level sitting right here and I didn't use it. So yeah, oh, I got that one little drop there. So much thinner. And I'm not tilting exactly the same, so I'm not expecting to get the same design. I just want to see how the design holds up, really. I don't want my center to go over though. Okay, so there's a lot more white showing in this one. Gosh, that's moving so much faster than the other ones. Wow. Yeah, that one was much, much thinner, and there was nothing I could do about it, like I said, because when you're working with pigment powders, it's really just your viscosity is whatever you're using as your base, as your pouring medium. So let me get some to cover this side up here. So the next one I'll be doing is the actual Polypour, and I am expecting this to be the best one. I'm thinking, so you guys let me know what you thought was gonna be the best one. I think it's probably gonna be the Polypour, and then the Liquitex pouring medium, and then the Floetrol, and then the GAC 800. But I don't know, this looks really cool on this inside here. How's that side look, guys? Oh, no good. I'll have to come back through and touch all that up. Okay. Y'all, wear gloves because the stuff stains your fingers. I was silly and I meant to put them on, but touching those sides. All right, so I'm gonna pour out of the same side here. This one is definite. Okay, that green and the blue and the yellow mixed together to green. I didn't see much green in any of the other ones. A ton of yellow is coming through. There's my white. My white looks pretty true to its color. But where's my pink and my purple? That Polypour is pretty thick as well. So this almost looks holographic. I mean, they all kind of do, but this one the most. And there's a ton of, ooh, there's that Florida storm. This one looks definitely more holographic than the other ones. And where is the pink and purple? Hopefully they'll come through. I'm going to get my gloves real quick. Okay. So, and I'm not gonna torch any of these for air bubbles, although I see a little lump right in here. I'm gonna get that out now, if I can. I don't see it. I may have messed up my design, but it's definitely there. The Polypour itself, gosh, I don't want to mess that up too much, guys. The Polypour itself had a little bit, because I hadn't used it in about a month, and it had some little clumps in it. So almost like the Floetrol gets those. So you might want to just make sure that you strain those out. And I'll show you guys the dried results of these so that you can give me your honest opinion. Which one do you like better? The pigments themselves are absolutely beautiful though. Like really, really pretty. Almost there, guys. Okay, so that white kind of took over. I layered them the same way. I didn't exactly tilt the same. And again, I'm not going for, can I get the same look? I hope you guys like thunderstorms. Okay. All right. Last little bit. What's that look like, guys? These are just little experiments. So, okay, that one's really, really. Okay, this one is the Liquitex pouring medium. Wow, it's almost like a, again, it's like a holographic effect from those pigments. They're beautiful. They are in my Amazon store, or you can go to the actual ColourArte website. I am going to be using some resin art pigments in my next KS resin video, and I've got links to everything down below. Again, I'm not too worried about the design. My table's not super duper level. So this one's actually flowing pretty well too. The purple and the yellow, I put those together on the top layer just to see how they would react to each other, if they would make some type of mud. Okay, all right, so I'm going to finish my edges, and then I'm going to get you guys down on the canvas so that you guys can see what each of these turned out like. And then I'll show you the dried result as well. All right, this is the one with Floetrol. And you can see the color's muddied, or blended, I should say, just a little bit. Let me see if I can get you around the edges. It's a little bit more difficult. See that corner right there? So the paint needs to be kind of, you need a lot of paint on the canvas in order to cover your edges. You can't just like dab paint on there. This is the GAC 800. And again, so you can see, so here I'll add a little bit right here. Oh, it's hard to do this while I'm holding the camera. But yeah, you can see like the coverage isn't as good. It's thin, so it's pulling away from the edges. So GAC 800 I think is too thin to use with this medium. This is the actual Polypour, and the colors blended a little bit. And I did get a little bit of like that brown murky color from the yellow and the purple. I got a much prettier blending here of all the colors. But here, that center is really, really cool. Almost like lightning right through there. And the side coverage is very good as well. So that's what it's made for. Let me see, looks like it may be pulling away just a little bit on this edge right here. And that's probably because my table is not level. And don't yell at me for it not being. This is the Liquitex pouring medium. That one is really pretty. The blue came out in this one. And that center is still really cool. But again, it's thinner, which is surprising because the Liquitex pouring medium came out kind of thicker when I mixed it. But you can see the edges pulling away there as well. So that's it. So you guys can tell me which one you like better. So I'll start down at the end. So number 1, Floetrol. Number 2, GAC 800. Number 3, the Polypour, that the company that it's made to go with. Or 4, Liquitex pouring medium. So I will let you guys know and see the dried results, so stick around for that. All right, you guys, we're back. And here are the 4 of them. And I must say they all dried really, really pretty. So I'm gonna take you in for a close-up on each one. They're in the same order. So Floetrol, GAC 800, Polypour, and the Liquitex pouring medium. So I'll take you in, hold on one second. Okay, so this, almost dropped the camera. This was, let me see if I can, so you can see kind of the iridescence. The sides, though, the paint ran over and it was kind of thick when it happened. So, this was the Floetrol one, and obviously it dried matte. And again, the paint kind of ran over the sides afterwards. The coverage is not that great on it. But this part in the middle, the pigments really are beautiful. I mean, it's really, really pretty. And I kind of like those little cells that popped up there. So that is the Floetrol one. This, let me slide you over. You guys like my camera work, huh? So look at that. So the GAC 800, the Polypour, and the Liquitex pouring medium, they're all gloss finish. I mean, it looks like I've put a gloss coating on it. It's really, really pretty. Again, I had messed up there on the piece. And then the side coverage, again, is not super great because it was thin, but the top of it, man. So I don't know if I'm going to paint the sides of these and still, I mean, they're beautiful. So, but this is the GAC 800. And I really think it worked pretty well. The colors stayed very kind of separate, I think, in that one. They did blend, but you can see the yellow. The blue is almost completely gone out of that one. It's kind of the underlaying pigment there. So that's that one. So you guys make sure you let me know which one you like, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Then here is the GAC 800 actually surprised me because this one over here, because in the cup, it looked like the worst one. but the shine from those pigments that came out was amazing. So this is kind of how my other one, this is the Polypour, and this is how my other one looked too. The colors definitely blend together, but the holographic, I mean, the pigments are amazing. And the pigments are in my Amazon store, or you can get them on the ColourArte website. And I'm going to be trying out some resin pigments soon too. So that's the Polypour. It's okay. It had some of the best side coverage. It was the thickest out of them. But if you're going for this look on the inside, you know, that kind of holographic, soft pigment, it's absolutely beautiful. This is the Liquitex pouring medium. And again, glossy as heck. Side coverage actually wasn't terrible on this one, but again, dripped down the sides. I actually like those drips right there on this side. But yeah, you can see how glossy that one is. This one actually held the yellow is lost in this one, but it held the colors and the design the best, I think, out of all of them. But the whole point of the experiment was to see, can you use these pigments in, you know, other pouring mediums? And yeah, you can see on the side here. Let me see if I can see how the color, it was thicker on top, and then as it ran down the sides, it stained the sides, but it didn't hold the... So as far as side coverage and coverage of the canvas, let me get you back on all of them. Hold. So as far as side coverage goes, the ColourArte was definitely the best with the pigments, which makes sense because that's what it's made for. And second, it was the thickest of the mediums. The Liquitex pouring medium was the next thickest, I would say. The GAC 800 was the least thick. So I would paint your sides ahead of time if you're going to be using the GAC 800. The Floetrol, the colors are beautiful in it and it held the design really well, but it dries matte. So of all of them, I think that's my least favorite. But again, you put resin or you varnish over it and it will bring those colors right back to life. But again, the side coverage, you would need to paint the corners of the sides of your canvas first. The Liquitex pouring medium, I'm a fan of that. And the original, obviously, the ColourArte worked well, but I was expecting that because that's what it's made for. So I hope you guys liked the experiment. If you want to check out the pigments, I really do honestly like them. It's a completely different effect than you get with the regular acrylic paints, and you use very little of it to make up a batch of paint. But if you guys wanted to experiment, I say go for it. You can always write into ColourArte. She has way more information than I have on the topic, Leslie Ohnstad. And yeah, so I think that's about all that I had. You guys let me know in the comments what you think, which one you like, if you think I should have done anything differently for obviously my tilting wasn't the same, but I wasn't trying to get the same picture. So anywho, all right, thank you guys for watching. Happy painting. Bye.